Welcome to the $100 MBA Show, the only business podcast that brings you business lessons on a silver platter. So sit back and enjoy our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today is a must-read episode. In our must-read episodes, I tell you about a book that you really should read. I tell you why you should read it and how it's influenced me as an entrepreneur. Today's must-read book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I think must-read doesn't do it justice. This is like the grandfather of business books. The book was first published in 1937. I can't wait to get into why this book is so fantastic, how it's affected me, and why you should read it. So let's get down to business. Today's show is sponsored by one of my favorite podcasts, Freedom Fastlane, the #1 show if your goal is to have more freedom and more money in 2015. Open up iTunes right now, search Freedom Fastlane, and hit subscribe. The author of Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, wrote this book in the era of the Great Depression. Another fun fact is that he was a former advisor to President Franklin D. Roosevelt. And in his time, he's interviewed over 500 people, the most successful people this country has ever known in his time. And the whole purpose of all these interviews he's doing is to figure out the key ingredient to their good fortune or to their success. And he wraps up all these insights in this book, Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is only around 200 pages, which is incredible how much information is packed into such a short book, considerably a short book. And it's considered one of the best-selling books of all time. Now, don't expect to find any stock picking or gambling advice in here. His whole premise for writing this book is to help people overcome their psychological barriers that keep them from wealth. To sum this up in a passage from the book, Napoleon Hill writes, "Wishing will not bring you riches, but desiring riches with a state of mind that becomes an obsession, then planning definite ways and means to acquire riches, and backing those plans with persistence, which does not recognize failure, will bring riches." So in the book, he breaks up this idea of being wealthy into 6 steps. Now, I want to make this clear. This book is not about this idea of this overwhelming hunger for money. A lot of people equate this to some sort of evil. Some of the people he interviews are some of the biggest philanthropists we've known. They've done a lot of great things with their wealth. They've created great products, great industries, great companies that have helped our modern life. So he has these 6 steps to turn this desire for wealth into an actual financial equivalent. And funny enough, the first step is to fix in your mind an exact amount of money you desire, to have a goal, to have an exact amount of money. He warns you and says it's not sufficient to merely say, "I want plenty of money." He encourages you to be specific about the amount. The second step is really interesting. He says, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. What are you going to give so you can get this money? And he says there's no such reality as something for nothing. So obviously you're going to have to offer the world something so you can earn this money. Third, he says establish a specific date when you intend to possess the money you desire. Again, having a timeline, having a goal, having a deadline. Fourth, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, immediately, whether you're ready or not, to put this plan into action. The 5th step is, and funny enough, this is number 5, is have a clear plan through which you intend to accumulate it, a detailed plan, how you're going to earn this money. So the second step where he says determine exactly what you intend to give in return for your money, that's the what. The 5th step is the how. How are you going to do it? And in the 5th step, he actually encourages you to write a clear and concise statement. With a pen and paper, actually write it down and say, this is how much money I want, this is when I want it, this is what I'm going to offer so I can get it, this is how I'm going to get it. The 6th step is to read your statement aloud, twice daily, once just before going to bed at night and once after getting up in the morning. And then he states in this step, as you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. It seems a bit basic or a bit like, oh, this is kind of weird. I got to chant these things and whatever. I got to say these things aloud. But if you actually compare this to just about any financial guide out there, you'll find exactly the same simple steps. It just comes with a little bit more bells and whistles. But what I love about this book is that it's so straight to the point. This guy is an incredible writer, and he speaks in a very clear tone. I love his style. I love the way that he's written this book. He's taken so much information, so much knowledge that he's learned through these 500 interviews, and he boiled down to a book that's about 200 pages. That's incredible. Guys, I got more about Think and Grow Rich, how does it influence me as an entrepreneur, my takeaways, but before that, I got to give love to today's sponsor, Freedom Fastlane. I mentioned at the beginning of the show that today's sponsor is one of my favorite podcasts, Freedom Fastlane. You've been listening to the $100 MBA show, and now you're ready to start your business, or you want to take your business to the next level, or even your life to the next level. This is one show that you should definitely subscribe to. My favorite episode is the one where he outlines how you can make and keep $2 million in 2 years. I also like the episode where Ryan explains how to invest your profits for passive cash flow so you're not exchanging time for money. You'll hear these episodes and more to grow your business on Freedom Fastlane. So open up iTunes, type in Freedom Fastlane, and hit subscribe. One of the things that really affected me or really resonated with me very strongly when I read Think and Grow Rich was this big reminder. It's like this big sign that one of the only ways you can achieve wealth, any of your goals, better health, whatever it is to understand that more often than not, our emotions and our mindset are what keep us from succeeding. It's true. If you believe in something, whether it's negative or positive, it's going to affect the way you act. And at the end of the day, it's our job to come up with a plan to overcome them. We need to be a little bit more conscious of the way we think about things, our mindset about things, be it in our business or in life. If you think you can't do something, you can't do it. It's very hard for you to do something when you don't believe in it. One of the best ways to sum up how this book has influenced me is a quote from the actual book. It's kind of imprinted in my mind. Now remember, he's saying this in the context of wealth. He says, when riches take the place of poverty, the change is usually brought about through well-conceived and careful executed plans. Poverty needs no plan. It needs no one to aid it, because it is bold and ruthless. Riches are shy and timid. They have to be attracted. To me, that was so powerful, because if you're just passive about things, then you're just going to go down the hill and, gravity will take its course. So you really need to make sure that you're active and you combat that. You see that as, if I don't do anything, it's going to go down. Whatever my business, my health, my wealth in this example, make sure that you're actively trying to move forward. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please drop us an iTunes rating and review. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us rank better and reach more people on iTunes and reach more people just like you building businesses. You can learn more how to do that at 100mba.net/show. Guys, huge announcement. We're going to be launching the new Webinar Ninja podcast tomorrow. We're just waiting on iTunes to approve. We should be good to go. Tomorrow's show, I'm going to give you a little bit more details about that at the start of the show. I would love for you all to check it out. Just type in Webinar Ninja in iTunes, find us, subscribe, rate, and review us. You can really help us by giving us a great lift at the start. I think you're going to love this show. I've put in a lot into it. Nicole's put a whole bunch into it. It's highly produced. I'm really proud of it, to be honest with you, and I hope that you enjoy it. It's a great show about how to be a better communicator, teacher, a salesperson, a business person through the medium of webinars. I explore this whole world. It's a fun narrative type of podcast. I hope you guys check us out and leave us a rating and review. Guys, I want to leave you with this. Napoleon Hill really focuses on a lot about mindset in the book. When I first started, I kind of just didn't get it. Like, what do you mean mindset?